Let's do another Valentine's look. Now this one is called Love Letter Glow. So as per usual, we need to make sure that this base is going nowhere. So going in and priming the skin as well as priming the eyes. So we are doing a little bit of eyeshadow. So now starting off with the eye look, we're going to take this more like rosy pink shade on a more dense fluffy brush. And we're just going to pack that on in the inner portion of our lid. Now there is nothing to really diffuse the shade. So I'm just going to go in with my pressed powder and a really fluffy brush and just take a little bit and diffuse this pink shadow all around the edges. So I don't actually have a red liner, so what I love to do is take a white pigment base, putting it in the back of my hand and taking a small little paintbrush, and we're going to create a red liner. So we're going to take that little brush and just slowly start packing all that white base and creating our winged liner. So now that we have that white liner base, we're going to go in with a very dense eyebrow or eyeliner brush that has a little bit of an angle, and we're just going to pack that on, make sure there's an even coat, and just stamp right on top of that white base. Okay, so I decided to do something a little bit more creative, so I actually ended up doing a heart, just taking whatever is left on the back of my hand and really rolling the brush around to make the smallest point, and I just created a heart. So I really just went like that and then that, and now I'm just filling it in. So I do kind of want to leave a little bit of the border, but we are going to fix it a little bit. So I'm going to go back in with that matte shade in the same dense brush, and I'm just going to pat that in this part of the heart. So now on the other part of the heart, I want to go in with this shimmer shade on the same brush and just also patting it in. Now, I think this would be really fun when it hits the sunlight because you have that matte, but then when you turn slightly, you see the shimmer side. Okay, so this is the eye look. It's fun. It's cute. I feel like it goes with the vibes. So now we're going to start doing our base, and we are going to go in with a BB cream. Okay, but first we're going to go in and do a little bit of color correction just right underneath the eye. So now we're just going to go in with some BB cream all over the face. So now let's go ahead and start applying our concealer so we can kind of let it just sit. So while we're letting our concealer set, let's go ahead and start doing the brows. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of brow soap so we can fluff them up. So now let's go ahead and start blending out this concealer. It's time to bronze up the skin. So we're going to also take a more neutral bronzer for this look because I really want to emphasize the eyeshadow instead of having a super bronzed. I just want enough where it actually looks like I have dimension on my face. So now we start doing our blush combo. So we're going to go in with a more like, it's like an in-between of a rosy orangey one. I do want to do a little bit of a brighter look. So let's do a little bit of a brighter base. So now it's time to go ahead and start setting the face, making sure everything is nice and set. Now, as per usual, I'm going to go in with my powder combo. So I'm going to put a loose powder just right on top of our pressed powder. Now let's go in with our neutral toned bronzer, just right where we placed our stick bronzer earlier. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of a contour, and I'm going to take this right in the socket, really focusing it right here, because since I feel like we added a little bit more detail on the eye, I really don't want to lose the shape of my nose. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of brow pomade just to start creating and carving out the brows. So I'm going to go in now with my brow powder and just fill in any areas that I missed with the brow pomade. Okay, so let's finish up the eye look. Let's go back in with that matte shade, and we're just going to run this through with the under eye. Even though we did do a red liner, I feel like I need a little bit of definition for my eye shape, so I'm going to go in just with the tiniest little line. But it adds like some definition. See how like we just added that tiny bit compared to this one? Like I feel like my eye gets kind of lost. So adding like the tiniest little line just right here is going to add a lot of definition if you have an eye shape around mine. And now I really do love doing my liner combo. So I'm going to also go in with a gel version of the liquid liner. To finish up our blush combo, so I'm going to take a matte, more like reddish pink shade, and I'm going to use this one all over, following the shape because we are going a little bit more up, so I want this to also match the same way. So now let's go in with our blending shade. I'm going to use this more brighter pink one, and I'm going to take this just around the edges of the blush, making sure that just everything is nice and diffused. And lastly, I do want to go in with this little bit more of a shimmery blush. This is from like a little mini one, and I'm going to focus this kind of just right in the high points, just kind of aligning it to where we place that heart. Now let's go in and add a little bit of glow with a subtle highlight just right in the high points of our face. So I do want to do a base lip, so I'm going to take this e.l.f. Glossy Lip Stain and I'm going to apply it mostly on the center of the lips. So I went ahead and curled my lashes. Now I'm just going to apply a coat of mascara to both the top lashes and the bottom lashes. So now that I've let that glossy lip stain kind of settle in, so now it's time to go in with our lip liner. Now let's go in with a more of a peachy gloss just right in the center. Now our last step is to finally go ahead and set the face. Now this is the final look. Now as per usual, you guys already know that a look is never complete unless you have your outfit and accessories on, so I will be right back. And this is the final look completed with my hair, accessories, and my outfit on. So I went in with this beautiful red cardigan with some embroidered pink hearts. So this is it for today's look called Love Letter Glow. So if you guys recreate this look, totally let me know. But with that, this is really it for today's video. Bye!